Yo, welcome back to another episode of Player versus Team, aka PVT. And y'all see, I'm back with my guys. Fellas, how we doing today?
Good, can't complain.
I'm A1, can't complain. I think I'm gonna sit back and let Willie cook this episode because last week I was on another planet cooking about some basketball.
Most definitely. He had the broiler was hot and it was seasoned, smelling real good up in here. Okay, so with that being said, y'all know how we like to kick off the show. We got our resident Geek Gauntlet host back in the building, so you guys already know it's only right. Other nerd question of the day. Y'all see it. We got Superman, Thor, Sentry, Martian, Manhunter, Black Adam, Hyperion, Blue Marvel, and Doomsday. The question was as follows. All out brawl. No holds barred, no holding back. Who comes out on top?
Hold up now. There's some caveats we gotta add. There's some things we need to answer.
Absolutely.
Which Hyperion is that? Because you know there's several Hyperion that's out in the universe.
True.
But yeah, if we're just looking at straight power, I gotta look at Superman, Thor, Sentry, and Martian Manhunter.
I think, honestly, yeah, that's.
If you look at an overall power,
that's kind of what I'm going at. If we think an overall power, especially if we're talking overall power without, holding back, because we understand a lot of these guys do limit themselves and tend to hold themselves back. I'm going. Of course, you got to go Superman. Got to give Sentry a nod. Martian Manhunter was one of my first choices, and I think I throw Hyperion and Blue Marvel in there.
We've seen Sentry and Blue Marvel go at it before.
This is true.
Blue Marvel won that fight, so we did see that fight. But again, if you're looking at bloodlust, all things even, the Void get a hold of Sentry.
Yeah. That's what throws me off. The Void get a hold of Sentry and he get to, cooking his madness that he be doing. It's a whole different game.
And we've already seen Superman beat Black Adam, even with magical lightning. We've already seen that. So
yeah. Black Adam is already no holds barred. Like he really already doesn't.
He a little bitch.
You know what I mean?
I hate Black Adam. He a little bitch.
But he's too cocky for his own good. So
yeah,
that's what always gets in his own way. But Doomsday, he's automatically out because he's just gonna be focused on Superman and he's gonna end up getting packed out from somebody.
I can beat you if I leave. Shut up, Black Adam.
I've seen a comment online, but I don't really know. Is Doomsday immortal?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He can die.
He can die. He just comes back with the pure motive to kill Superman.
And he also comes back with the ability you can't kill him the same way twice. Which is some bullshit.
Which is actually crazy because it's like, why?
Go back and look at Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That fool got X-ray, got heat vision to got lobotomized with Superman's heat vision. That fool heel came right back. This shit ain't work no more.
Yep. Thought he was gonna do the same thing. Did not work.
Nope.
How long is this fight lasting?
It can last. It can.
I'm just saying.
Because that's a me, I ain't gonna lie.
It can last a minute. It can last a minute because all of them got unlimited stamina.
So let's just say the beginning of this fight starts. All right. Doomsday is killed by a punch. Can't nobody kill him with punching no more. Or Can another person kill him with punching? No. It just can't be the same person.
No. Nobody kill him with punches.
If he died by that punch, he comes back and resurrect. He can't be killed by another punch again.
Mhm.
Okay. Then the second time you kill him with a kick. This fight will still be going on, by the way. So I'm pretty sure. Then he dies by a kick. He comes back. He can't die by a kick. He's already died by the X-ray. By straight just that fact alone, I'm taking Doomsday because this fight will never end.
That's valid.
I am taking Doomsday because I mean, once you stab
That's
him,
valid.
We're doing top row versus bottom row. We doing individual.
It was individual.
It was
Okay,
individual.
If it's individual, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Okay.
If individually speaking, that actually makes the most sense, honestly, because you're right. He's gonna keep coming back, and because he cannot die the same way, you're gonna have to get crafty. And there's only a certain amount of ways.
The only way you can really do to get him out is remove him from the fight physically. So somebody have to take Doomsday, fly his ass to the fucking sun, and
Martian Man on him.
and he can't fly.
Yeah,
so he wouldn't be
fly.
able to come. He wouldn't be able to come back. He might still be alive in the sun. Don't get me wrong, but he won't be able to come back.
He will be pissed for sure.
Yeah, he'll be pissed for sure, but he won't be able to come. But he won't be able to come back to Earth on his own. So you have to remove Doomsday, and once you remove Doomsday, that's it.
How fast can Martian Manhunter fly?
Speed of sound?
I think it's the speed of sound. He's not quite
speed of sound.
as fast as the speed of light.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus he's been retconned. And plus he's been retconned to where normal fire just don't kill him. You have to have passion behind that fire. So he might be the most OP one there. Superman said himself, the most dangerous person is within the Justice League is Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
he's just as
strong.
Think
about the fact that him not holding back, meaning him not holding back on his psychic ability.
Yep. And not to mention his shape shifting.
That's what I'm about to say. Martian Manhunter is another one. He could literally shape shift into a regular civilian, hide up in the crowd, and wait till everybody else beat the shit out of each other, and they all too tired, and be like, "All right, I'm back." Then kick all their ass and take Doomsday to the sun or the moon or wherever in space.
Put his ass somewhere. Put him on the blue side of the damn moon.
Honestly.
But
I like Blue Marvel. I just think Blue Marvel's outclassed in this battle. I just think he's outclassed in this battle. Yeah, he fought Sentry. He beat Sentry, but Martian Manhunter and Superman, that's a tall order.
If we're talking about Martian Manhunter, just based off his like I said, his psychic abilities, his ability to get inside Blue Marvel's head and fuck with him about, his home planet and the history of how he came to Earth and everything like that. Man, and we gotta think about it like this: like the Green Martians were like, nigga, they were conquerors on their planet before the white Martians rose up. Like,
and remember, if you take three superheroes and put them together, you could take Superman, you could take Charles Xavier, you could take Plastic Man. Put all them three together, that's Martian Manhunter right there.
Yep, that's essentially what it is.
He'll win. If we just going off individual, he'll win it.
Yeah, and he definitely has the ability to. Mm-hmm. But I like that Doomsday pick, bro, because I'm not gonna bring that logic to it. Bring that logic into exactly how Doomsday is gonna win, because that's the question that you asked. So I really like that. I like that you went there, DJ. All right, fellas. NBA playoffs is kicking off right now. The Cavs have officially been eliminated. Now, two questions.
Cancun.
Two questions. Number one, should they blow it up? DJ, I'm gonna start with you.
I don't think they should blow it up, but I think they should move on from Donovan Mitchell.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm listening.
They were already a really good core before Donovan Mitchell was traded there. Obviously, Cleveland was not at the top of his list, or top 5 where he wanted to go once he left Utah.
This is true. I believe he wanted to go to Miami first, right?
Yeah, he wanted to go. Everybody wanted to go to Miami, apparently. Dame did too, and I don't blame him because Jimmy and Bam and Donovan would have made a hell of a combination because Jimmy and Donovan are really good defenders, and Jimmy needed a strong guard.
I think they want to go to Miami for different reasons than Jimmy and Bam.
No state tax in Florida. Am I correct?
No state tax in Florida.
But at the same time, like I said, I think they wanted to go to Miami for different reasons other than no state tax and, Jimmy and Bam at the time. I'm just saying there's a lot.
And they had just came off a finals run, even though they lost.
Yep.
It's a lot of wobbling out there. That's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
And they were ready to get off Duncan Robinson at the time because Duncan Robinson had just had a really, really good final, and the whole year he wasn't balling.
True.
I mean, he had a really good playoff run. So, but I think they should move on from Donovan. Not saying Donovan isn't capable of being the best player on the team, but I think at this point you've ran it what 3 times now with Donovan as your lead guy, and you don't want. I hate to compare the situation, but you don't want to get into a situation where it was the Toronto thing, where DeMar DeRozan ended up staying there too long. They couldn't get past LeBron in the East, and finally they trade him, and they got somebody that I mean, granted, we all knew Kawhi Leonard was a better player, but DeMar DeRozan wasn't no slouch. He was a go-getter, just kind of like Donovan Mitchell. Just Donovan Mitchell is I think a better outside shooter.
Let me play devil's advocate. Since you are willing to give up Donovan Mitchell. What deal would you do? What would you want to what would you get back to replace that production? Because if you take that game, he take that game, he got hurt and out. He only had 12 points in the game. He got injured. He was averaging in the 30s. So
So I'm leaning.
Who would you trade?
I'm leaning on they should trade Donovan Mitchell to somebody that's probably a piece away for a younger player they believe that can fill the void. And who that would be, I don't know. I don't
Darius Garland know.
You said what about Darius Garland?
Yeah.
You extend him, obviously. You want to keep him.
The reason why I asked that is because for the past 2 years that he's legitimately been hurt in both second rounds of the playoffs, right? You paired that with him not necessarily playing well or necessarily fitting well in that Cleveland offense. So
I think part of the reason he doesn't feel well in that Cleveland offense is because of Donovan Mitchell.
Understandable.
I don't think they game, like, yes, Donovan Mitchell is a shooter, but he's a guy that wants the ball in his hand to affect the game on offense. Darius Garland isn't a shooter. He's a slasher. He needs the ball in his hand to affect the game. It's the same thing as whenever I was like, when you know where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. When LeBron and Westbrook were both on the Lakers before the season, we were like, Westbrook is essentially LeBron, just shorter. Neither one of them really plays off ball, and until one of them accept the role to play off ball, and Westbrook definitely at that point wasn't going to accept no damn role to play off ball.
Definitely,
he definitely wasn't.
And it's not his strength either, so.
Right, he can coexist with Jamal Murray because Jamal Murray is a really good shooter in his own right. But I think even though Donovan Mitchell is a pretty good shooter, he likes to attack. He's essentially a combo guard. Like, he's a shooting guard, but wants to play point guard.
True.
So I don't know necessarily who you would trade him for, but I mean, if the Bucks want to keep Giannis, I'd probably be willing. They bet to throw anything to keep, but I don't think Cleveland would take the trade for anybody at the Bucks got, because unless they trade what's the guy name the guy that went off for like 40 points against the I guess was against the the Clippers before the season ended. Whenever Damon Giannis didn't play, I cannot think of that dude's name right now. But I feel like he would have to be included in the trade. And
You're talking about
yeah, I can't think of this dude's name. I cannot think of his name. Come on, Willie. I know you know. I know you know who I'm talking about.
I'm trying to think too.
Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton would definitely have to be in the deal.
Thank you. The high flyer Pat Connaughton. Thank you.
Pat Connaughton will have to be in the deal. And I'm pretty sure KPJ would have to be in the deal as well. For depth purposes.
Well, they probably will. I've heard reports that Bobby is as good as gone too. So he might as well throw him in some way, shape, or form, some reports. But looking at the Cavs, they got a lot of pieces that you can work with, right? They have the DeAndre Hunter. They have like we're talking about obviously Donovan Mitchell. You got an Isaac Okoro. You have a Jared Allen, who honestly they've been trying to move off of for the past few years. So I see his name coming in there. Max Strus, his name is probably going to be
Max Strus. I ain't heard that name in so long.
Talking all that shit. And then you freeze up.
But yeah, to answer the question though, I think they should keep their young core intact. It's just that Donovan Mitchell is basically way older than their young core. I think Donovan Mitchell's getting what is it? Donovan Mitchell now 30, ready to hit 31, something like that. 32.
He's 28.
28, so not bad. So he still got some of his prime left. If you gotta trade one of the, you either gotta get rid of Donovan Mitchell or you're gonna have to get rid of Darius Garland. It's gonna have to be one of them because they can't coexist.
Honestly. So you're looking for somebody more like, and I'm not saying him because I don't think Boston will let off him, but you're looking at a player like a Drew Holiday type of player to take over that role for Donovan Mitchell. Okay, that makes sense. A distributor. You're
gonna need a distributor, or a really, really good shooter that's willing to spread the floor. And can like you would need. I hate to throw Klay Thompson's name out there likely like that, but you need somebody in that's a sniper. You need a sniper on that team, and they don't necessarily have a sniper type. The Cavs game really is. It's not predicated to win in this era, right? Like their game plan is not predicated to win in this era. They don't really have stretch 4 or 5s, which is why Pat Connaughton would be really a really good person for them to have. You might have to come off of Bobby Portis too. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might have to come off of Bobby Portis too. But yeah, I don't think they should blow it up. I just think they should change the core a little bit.
I can understand that. Willie, how we feeling?
Coaching change.
Really? After Coach of the Year?
Mm-hmm. I really feel coaching change. He got out coached in this series. Not only did he get out coached, he got outran. Indiana is a young team that can run the ball up and that can run up and down the floor. And with Cleveland not being at the healthiest and going through their own issues, he got out coached. Coach of the Year, yes, but once again, you got out coached. And to corral all that talent to its fullest potential, I think you need a coaching change.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie.
And you know what? You know what too? And the reason why I do also say like a Drew Holiday type is because they do need a floor general. They need somebody that will control the pace. Like Cleveland's a half-court team. They're not a run and gun team. You need somebody to control the pace. And Donovan Mitchell wants to play fast all the time. Darius Garland wants to play fast all the time. But your bigs, your 3, 4, and 5 position aren't fast type players.
That's a fair point.
And a lot of teams can't run with Indiana. A whole lot of teams can't run with Indiana. I mean, you go back and you look at them during the regular season, they were running and gunning. Milwaukee terrorized Milwaukee, just terrorized them. So yeah, I think it's time for a coaching change.
Interesting. Wow. Do we see Cleveland as a repeat, as a top 5 next year, or was this more like a one-off kind of year? Because Donovan Mitchell did say they'll be back, which means
I don't think it was a one-off because they've been successful in the past years. They've gotten to the second round.
true.
But I mean, the more I look at this, and hear me out on this one, the more I look at Cleveland's roster, the more sense it will make. And Stephen A was right. He should have went to the damn Knicks. The more sense it even makes for him to go to the Knicks, bro. It really does. It makes more sense to him to go to the Knicks now if they were to do a trade. Like the Knicks would probably have to give up OG Anunoby and probably Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, not too mad at that, honestly. Not too mad at that.
But I don't think this if they run it back again next year. I mean, they could stick it out like the Celtics did forever would because Donovan Mitchell's only 28. He's still got at least 4 or 5. I mean, they could try and stick it out like the Celtics did, and the Celtics eventually won.
Yeah.
And try and keep them together as long as possible. So the realm of possibility of a coaching change coming is not out the question because we've seen coaches win Coach of the Year and then be gone, even though they won Coach of the Year because they got out coached by veteran coaches in the playoffs. So I don't think it's a one-off year. They could run it back next year, and I expect them to get back to the second round if they do.
DeAndre Hunter brought their word about fights rather than playing the game. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, who did they beat in the first round?
The Cavs?
Yeah, I forgot.
Well, they were the number
Did
one.
they beat Orlando?
Oh,
No, Boston beat Orlando.
Okay.
The Cavs were the number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
They played the play-in, which would have been Miami.
Which was the Heat? Yeah, it was Miami.
It would have been Miami. Yeah. And that's a mismatch all day.
Yeah, that was a bad matchup. I'm not gonna lie to you, but either
that
matchup
was a
that they
horrible
got
matchup.
between Miami or Atlanta, it would have been bad regardless.
Yep.
So,
the East isn't strong enough for the Cavs to lose in the first round. And if they run it back with is it JB Bickerstaff? Is that who their coach is?
Kenny Atkinson is their coach.
Kenny Atkinson. Okay. If they run it back,
JB.
if they run it back with Kenny Atkinson and they lose in the first round next year, it's over.
But you know what though? I wouldn't put that outside the realm of possibility either. Ain't like Orlando gonna sit there and not get better.
Right. Yep. The only
Right.
problem with
You know what I'm
Orlando was they became unhealthy at the wrong time.
Yeah. It's not like Orlando ain't gonna sit there and get Pablo Banchero, boy.
Yep. A problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
They go to continue to improve. So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility to go out that first round. Because again, teams like Orlando might improve. We just talked about the Hawks. The only thing to hold the Hawks back, they're young and inexperienced. But if you go back, possibility they could get better. Maybe they do something with Trae Young and go from there.
Trae Young is good as gone, I think.
Trae Young is out of there, and that's exactly why Atlanta will be in the lottery next year.
I think he's going to. I think Atlanta tired of him. Living down here in Georgia, that's all I hear from Atlanta. They tired of Trae Young. They look at Trae Young as the problem.
He ain't the problem, though.
I mean, he's not necessarily the problem, but I think he's as good as gone. I just think he's looking for a better market.
I think that's what it is with Atlanta fans now. It's like he doesn't want to be here. Why should we want him back? But I'm gonna sit here and tell Atlanta fans he asked for help. He did everything he could to get help, and Atlanta just kept fucking it up and fucking it. Hey, y'all should appreciate that man while he's still there. That man took y'all to a conference finals. Him.
Yeah.
He took y'all to a conference finals.
Yeah.
He did.
Him and what was the center? I can't. Huh?
Clint Capella.
Yeah.
Him, Capella. Yeah. That was a nice Atlanta team, and then they started trading people the next year, and it just never worked again.
Then they got rid of the general manager who put that all together too. Yep. Which made no sense to me.
Of course, but it's how shit goes. Just like if Kenny Atkinson just so happens to get fired in the middle of the season next year, hey, it's not like we haven't seen it before. Before we get to the Warriors Timberwolves, How we feeling about Dallas securing that number 1 pick?
Rigged.
So we just gonna sit here and let the NBA play in our faces?
Rigged. Rigged. But it's not like we ain't seen this at the lottery before. Sorry, D Rose.
This is true.
Rigged.
We've seen it a few times.
Yep, you've seen it be rigged a few times.
And they
But this
also reportedly said they intend on drafting Cooper Flag and they're not trading the pick. I want to say that is a lie, because if the Bucks come and say we will trade you Giannis right now for that first round pick, they're running with it.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, you think
I don't know. The only reason why I say I don't know is because Giannis is in his 30s. Hold on, how much longer Giannis got to play at a high peak? 2, 3, 4 years at a high peak.
Okay, so
Cooper
Willie,
Flag is younger and can be the next face of your team. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me tell you though. You got you Lively is Lively, right? Lively, Gafford.
Lively, you got Gafford.
Gafford. Washington is there. You got Kyrie, you got AD.
Yep.
You know, Dallas is in win now mode. I know Cooper Flag could be the future or whatever, but if you sit there and tell me you ain't even going to entertain,
I don't know,
to win right now, that's crazy.
I mean, that would be a hell of a deal to pass up, though.
But look, you did okay. That was a gift. That was a gift beyond gifts. Power beyond power, gifts beyond gift. Luka for Flag. That's basically what it is. Luka for Flag. They gonna get that up. Ain't no way in the hell they gonna get that up.
Crazy not to entertain that.
I mean, you can make the phone call. I ain't gonna sit here and say don't make the phone call, but I'm just saying.
And here's the kicker though. But here's the kicker though. Kyrie is done until probably March next year. So you ain't gonna have to worry about injuries. AD is healthy now. He'll be out during the summer. Hopefully he's not doing too much during the summer. And if Giannis comes, you really ain't got to worry about playing AD too much. When Kyrie comes back, you can ease him back in, because now you got, I'm telling you, I'm just saying.
I ain't ready to give up. I ain't ready to give up Flag.
I am, because I'm not going. I don't think Flag.
Because you looking
I don't
at
think
Giannis.
Flag is going to be. I don't think Flag is going to be a superstar. I think he's going to be an all-star. I don't think Flag is going to be a superstar like everybody is touting him to be.
Because you got a 30-year-old Giannis. Okay, he 30. B, he going to the West. Everybody that tough is West, and if you look at some of the players he's going up against in the West, ain't gonna be no field day like he got in the East. Ain't gonna be no field day. And I'm not ready to give up a generational talent like that. I'm not.
Giannis is a generational talent.
I'm not saying
what.
He's 30. He's 30 years old. This man is coming in at a time that you can build him up. Kyrie can build this man up and make him better. You gave up Luka. You went through hell to give up Luka. Can you imagine what Nico will go through if you give up Flag?
I'm saying not if you get Giannis in return. I don't think Dallas would trip on that. And I don't think Dallas would trip on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he'll. Hey, so
you gotta at least listen to
it. I'm not saying don't take the phone call. I'm not saying that, but I'm not doing that deal.
Let me ask you a question, Willie. How old was LeBron when he got to LA?
He was kind of up there. 34?
More than 30.
30, 35, 34? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And he granted it was in the bubble, but he did deliver them a championship, and nobody has regretted before he won that championship there. They were like, we should have never got LeBron. He ain't Kobe, this and that. And he won the championship. All is forgiven when you win.
I am not. I'm still saying that's a blessing.
I'm telling you though.
I don't think Nico's gonna turn a batted eye. Yeah, he'll take the phone call, but I don't think he'll do the deal.
I think he would.
It's tough.
Especially if you,
It's
especially if
tough.
you ain't got to give, especially if you ain't got to give up Kyrie, AD,
It's
or
tough.
Washington.
It's tough.
Look, you
Play if you don't gotta give up.
you don't got to give up Kyrie, AD, or Washington. So your choice is Gafford and Lively with a first round pick for Giannis. I don't know, man. They might entertain that.
I don't know.
Man,
They might entertain that.
Because if you look at if Cooper Flag hit the way they're talking about he gonna hit, I don't know, man.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I'll still take the phone. I'll still take the phone call, but I don't know if I'm doing it.
If was a fifth, I would be drunk. That's
I'm trying to tell you.
That's if he turns in.
I don't know, man.
And do you want to see? And do you want to see Cooper Flag in Milwaukee with Doc Rivers as his coach?
Coop, you got to slide.
Doc Rivers is as good as gone, dog. Doc Rivers is as good as gone.
Okay.
You got to slide.
So if he's good as gone, Darvin Ham's gonna take over. He's already an assistant coach there.
That don't mean Darvin Ham is gonna take over. They could still hire somebody. They could hire somebody from the outside.
They could.
I don't think they're going to make the mistake of doing Darvin Ham, and the reason why is because Giannis and LeBron are the same type of player. It's like you just seen Darvin Ham fail with that same type. Granted, LeBron was older, but they're the same type of play. You just seen him fail with LeBron. Like JJ came in and made that team instantly better with his coaching. Granted, he got outcoached in the freaking play. How you have Luka and LeBron and get eliminated in the first? And I'm not gonna blame it all on JJ. The Lakers have no depth. Let's just be honest here. If they're starting five,
no depth and no bigs.
Right. If you're starting, bruh, they had this dude
Jackson
Rudy
Hayes
Gobert. They had this dude Rudy Gobert go for 29 and 24 in the closeout game.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely bonkers. Boy out there looking like Prime Wilt.
Yep.
He ain't lying.
Yep. He ain't lying.
But yeah, I'm just saying I would entertain it.
I would entertain it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No.
I would
probably do it.
I don't know if I would pull the trigger necessarily, but I'll
take the call, but I ain't doing it.
I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at my ring case, and I'm looking at the phone, and I'm looking at my ring case, and I'm looking at the phone, and I'm like, gee, all I'm giving up is a pick, and I'm getting Giannis back. I might even get some.
Now look, here's the kicker too, Willie. If they could unload that trash ass Kyle Kuzma contract on Dallas, with Lively and Gafford being in that trade, if they could unload that trash contract from Kyle Kuzma, I don't see why not.
And Kyle Kuzma going either way. He on his way to Shanghai right now. He getting ready for next season. Go to Shanghai right now.
Shut up. And you're saying do I really want to see Cooper Flag out of Milwaukee with Doc Rivers? I won't see him out of Milwaukee with Doc Rivers. I'll see him out of Milwaukee with somewhere else. And you play. If you don't have a good first season, you get another high draft pick, and now you're looking like the Rockets did. You got something. I'm just saying.
I ain't feeling that.
I understand where you're coming from.
You have to consider.
I would, like
Dallas being in win now mode. I would
entertain the phone call. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm not pushing the button on that.
I probably would. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would. Because your caveat is saying winning one. But if they don't win one, it's all for naught. But what if necessarily mean you win? But what if they don't win one and they did the trade, but Cooper Flag doesn't pan out to be a star?
They won't even win a championship with Giannis. The whole thing blow up.
Listen, but I'm just saying. Now it's one thing if they don't win the championship and Cooper Flag turns out to be a star, but if he just turns out to be a regular starter on another team and you got Giannis, you could live with the fact that we did go all in. It just didn't work.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, all I'm saying is considering both teams on opposite trajectories.
Oh, Cooper Flag is what, 20, 21?
Yes, but what I mean by opposite trajectories, one is in win now, and one is in win now mode, and the other one. Well, I probably shouldn't say one is in. I think they're both trying to win now because Dame is
I
there.
would say that, yeah.
But-
yeah.
But one is. I mean, like you can feel Giannis already on his way out. So now you're going to risk losing him for basically nothing.
Nothing.
And
Well, he won't be nothing. He's got 2 years on his contract. So it have to be a trade. He can't walk out as a free agent for 2 years.
right. But in 2 years, if he walks and you get nothing,
Yeah, then it's the same feeling. Yeah.
I mean, he owes Milwaukee nothing. He
Facts.
gave him what is it?
He gave him that one championship.
A MVP season.
Mhm.
Also a year where he won defensive MVP, DPOY. I think he won MVP and DPOY in the same season, right? Or was it MVP 1 year and DPOY the next year?
That was
But-
DPOY the next year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was DPOY the
And
same year that he won the finals.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
He
Okay.
beat Phoenix that year.
And Jokic, I think Jokic or Joel Embiid won MVP the year they won, right? It could have been. I think it's Jokic.
Joker.
I think-
Jokic, the first one.
Then it was Joker who won MVP that year.
And then he gave them a championship.
He did.
Milwaukee, bro.
He did. He did.
Milwaukee.
He did. He did.
The Milwaukee Bucks have been relevant twice in my life, dog. Twice in my life. Like
I go back a little bit further, but yeah, I get your point.
when Ray Allen was there.
I get your
Hey,
point.
listen, Willie. I know you older, but you wasn't there. Was you there for the Sidney Moncrief Bucks? 'Cause if you wasn't
I
there
was
for Sidney
there
Moncrief
for
Bucks,
I was there for Terry Cummings, Sidney
Okay.
Moncrief.
ooh,
Mm-hmm.
how old were you? How old were you
Yeah.
at that time?
Oh God. 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
was a
yeah,
young man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there for that.
that stretch after they
Oh,
left until Ray Allen came,
They ain't do nothing.
nothing. Then Ray Allen came. They at least got to. I think they got to the conference finals with Ray Allen.
Yeah, the conference finals when he got there.
They lost to Allen Iverson.
Yep, Philadelphia. Yep.
Oh, yep.
And that was
So
a different Ray Allen because everybody wants to talk about shooter this, shooter that. Go back and look at young Ray Allen, please.
They don't remember that Ray Allen, dog.
You don't remember that Ray Allen?
That's dunk contest Ray Allen. They don't.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
all the shit.
To the rim, Ray Allen.
I've been arguing with these youngsters at work. It's like 23, 24. I'm like, I said, bro, yes, Steph revolutionized the 3-point and revolutionized basketball, but let me tell y'all something. Everything that Steph is doing with shooting off the ball and shit like that, Ray Allen was doing it. It was like, Ray Allen is a spot-up shooter. Man, y'all have no idea.
No idea. No.
Y'all did not see Ray Allen in
idea.
Seattle. Y'all didn't see Ray Allen in Milwaukee. Y'all saw him
Nope.
I don't
in,
know what y'all talking about.
Nope.
man, like, yeah.
One half of the original Splash Brother, Rashad Lewis.
Yup.
Man.
Come on.
And we definitely. Then you got a little Andrew Bogut era with Michael Redd. We don't count that. We don't count that as a successful era
We
though.
don't count that, though. We don't count that though.
No, they did
Nah.
absolutely nothing besides get eliminated in the first round. I think Andrew Bogut made one All-Star team. The most notable thing
he
Michael
did win.
Redd did was win a gold medal with Redeem Team.
Yeah.
For those of you that
Yeah.
that don't know, Michael Redd was a problem too. He was a problem.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, people forgot.
Yeah.
yeah, man. I just Willie, I would probably I
definitely would entertain it.
I would-
I would do it, but I entertain it. Yeah. I definitely would entertain it.
I would come mad close. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would definitely come very, very close.
I think if this dude would have never traded Luka,
But
then he would have been okay to pull the trigger on this trade. If he didn't already have the stand of Luka on him.
Yeah.
that's also true. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's also true. So, DJ, we talked about last week. The Legend Killer striked again. He adds
That's what I called him on Facebook.
yet another gem to his very loaded Infinity Gauntlet.
He got another Pokemon badge.
I'm not putting Curry on his list.
Understandable. That's valid. Like some people are. Some people
Yeah,
aren't.
because he didn't play. He didn't play.
He didn't
Yeah.
play. Definitely understand that. But
Yeah.
the question goes as follows: is Ant-Man the next face of the NBA?
I think he's already the face of the NBA. I really do. More people tune in to watch him probably than this is the most people have watched Minnesota since Kevin Garnett was there. Right? Granted, they had some very, very bad seasons in between. I want to point that out. They were definitely just like Milwaukee Bucks after KG left. But
James Harden too.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man is already the face of the NBA in America. Now the global face, I think he'd be there in the next 2 years. Once he goes back to the Olympics, and because you remember a couple of years ago when he did win the ring in 2024, what was it? 24 or 20? What year did they do it?
24.
24. Mm-hmm. And I said the fall, I was like, players come back better after they do the Olympics. Like it is what it is. Unless they were already like a big superstar. Ant-Man was on his way up. But once he came back from the Olympics after being around Braun and Curry and bro, this dude is a problem. Hey, the Legend Killer is synonymous with 3 letters. In wrestling, it's RKO, and in basketball, it is ANT.
I love it.
Beautiful promo.
I don't think he's there yet, but I think he's vastly approaching it. The only reason why I say that is because Joker is just killing it. He might be the face here in the States, but internationally, I still think he's Joker.
Right.
Only because he's still the best international player out there. The man can't run, the man can't jump, the man is just hampered physically, but he's still out there doing his thing, 30, 40 points. But I do think it's amazing that what he's doing, but I think Ant is the face of the league here in the States. You can't deny that. And I think SGA is right behind him.
Now, next question.
I think for Black America, for sure, Ant is definitely the face of the league.
Oh yeah.
Look, no disrespect to SGA. He might win MVP this year. He's a star. Bro, Ant-Man has had superstar written all over him since the day he got in the end. His rookie year, you could see it coming.
Not only that, but look at the swagger that he has that makes him what he is.
He looks like Jordan and Jimmy Butler. I mean, Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Lakers in 5.
The way he went off after they won that series was awesome.
That brings me to my next question. If Ant-Man and the Wolves go on to win the NBA championship, where does that put him in the top 10?
In the NBA or just all time?
In the NBA, currently. Amongst his young players.
What?
We're talking to SGAs. We're talking to Lucas. We're talking to Jason Tatums. We're talking to Jaylen Browns. We're talking to the John Morants. We're talking to all the young stars. Where does Ant-Man now rank?
He's
over Job. Shit, sure.
Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah. He got to be top 5. He got to be.
I think,
if he wins the chip, he got to be top 5.
Like, I'm to the point. And this is no disrespect to Boston. I'm to the point where I would take Ant-Man over Jason Tatum already. Mm-hmm. And it's not because Jason Tatum isn't a better player. I think Ant is a better leader. Okay. Right? And his intangibles, Ant's intangibles are just it's ridiculous. The dude can jump out the building. He's the it factor. He'll put butts in seats. I'm not saying Jason Tatum can't do it, but how many times do you hear Boston sit there and say he's not aggressive enough? If he was more aggressive, we would have already won. And I feel like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like if Jason Tatum and Ant was to switch places, Boston would have probably went back to back this year. No lie.
I'll definitely take him over Jaylen Brown. Definitely.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is. I think Jaylen Brown is a star, like an all-star. Like I don't think Jaylen. So I mean, like if I was to go through the top 5 right now, SGA, Jokic, Luka.
Ant-Man number 4.
Right. So like,
he gotta be number 4. He gotta be. He gotta be.
No. I stopped right there just to be like, okay, so Moose said where he falls into the top 10. That was the wrong question. The real question is, where does he fall into the top 5?
Yeah,
and that was going to be my next question.
Top 5
now, that
I got one. I got one. I'm gonna counteract Moose question. You put him before Giannis?
No, I don't. Giannis has two things that Ant doesn't. Well, he has three, but two things that Ant doesn't have, and I don't know if he'll get it because he's just in a loaded class of people, which is MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
and he's not a bad defender. He's actually a really
he's a good on-ball defender. He's a good on-ball defender. Yeah,
but I mean, on-ball defenders normally don't win DPOYs. It's the help defenders that's getting all the blocks.
Yeah,
and it's normally a big man. I mean, like it took Gary Payton won DPOY, and it from him it went to Marcus Smart, and then it finally got to was it Drew?
I think it was Drew. I think it was Drew.
Then, yeah. So it's very, very rare for a guard. And then, I mean, before Gary Payton, the guard was Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And I think Sidney Moncrief snuck one in there as well when he was with the Bucks.
Now,
Sidney was amazing. Y'all go back and watch Sidney play. He got highlights all over YouTube. Go back and watch him play.
Amongst the guys that y'all just named in the top 5, does Ant-Man win in the ring catapult him over any of those guys?
Oh man,
that's tough.
See,
that's tough.
I say because I think I forgot about Giannis, so I think Ant-Man is number 5. I don't think winning so. Because SGA is going to win the MVP, and the MVP is really an individual award. But if Ant-Man wins Finals MVP, I think I'd take Finals MVP all day over regular season MVP because whatever.
Right.
There's a bunch of people with MVPs.
It means more.
Yeah. Which is why Jason Tatum still gets the knock of him being a superstar because he did not win, and Steph Curry had that knock on him for years.
Yep.
Until he finally won his.
Yep.
Sure did.
I still got him top 5 though.
I don't think him
but
winning
would
the
you catapult him over anybody currently in the top 5?
Would you put him over? You said Luka. Would you put him over Luka?
I would probably put him over Luka. Yeah. I'd put him over Luka.
Yeah.
And the reason why I would put him over Luka is because I do believe Dallas last year was a better team than Minnesota is this year.
Okay.
I agree. I see that.
And to be honest, that series last year with the Celtics, with Dallas, it was a more even series than people gave it credit for because it was a 2-on-2 duo in stars. It really was. The thing that set Boston apart was Al Horford played out of his freaking mind. True. That's really what it was. Al Horford and Derek White went bananas in that series.
This is true. Now, last question before we move on, just because I like this and I'm making it fun for y'all. Denver pushed. They got a game 7. If Shea loses, but Ant-Man now waiting in the Western Conference Finals, then knocks off a Nikola Jokic.
Why you gotta ask this question?
Does that put him over Shea?
Ask this question, DJ. Why? Why?
Well, are you going to ask if we're going to put Ant-Man over Jokic?
No, I'm going to ask you if you put him over Shea now.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah! I'm not putting him over Joker, but I'll put him over Shea.
If they knock off Denver, bro, everybody, for all real basketball fans know that Denver's record during the regular season was straight bullshit when it came down to it. We all knew Denver was still Denver for the past 2 yees, bro. They just won a championship 2 years ago. Yep. So, I mean, look, let me tell you why. I'd probably go as far as saying I'd put him over Luka and SGA. And the reason why I would say that is because that would make 2 years in a row he knocked out Jokic. He knocked him out last year after they won the championship and was trying to repeat. Then he comes back and matches up against them again and knocks them out again.
Yep.
To go to the finals this time, though.
Right. Which would be crazy. I think Minnesota is 1 year too early deep down. but it does give the, like when you see that team coming. Okay, like for instance, y'all remember the year before Seattle won their Super Bowl. They played against Denver. Played against Atlanta, and Atlanta went to the Falcons went to the Super Bowl. But the Seahawks battled. The Seahawks battled them down in Atlanta. Matty Ice had to ice the game in like 30 seconds, and they kicked the field goal and barely won the game.
Yeah,
that's what I see. That's exactly what I see out of Minnesota. It's like they are right there, and they're probably one player away. And this is exactly why I put him over SGA and Luka if he was to go to the finals and win. Because I look at him and be like, there's no reason why you should beat Denver to go to the finals. There was no reason why they should have.
They got Draymond vote because Draymond came out with a statement today saying they could do it all. And that's from Draymond.
Yeah, because the Timberwolves a scrappy team, bro. They're scrappy. They can, the Timberwolves can freaking score. Like, I don't even understand how.
And if it's gonna come down to OKC, if it comes down to Minnesota, both teams are deep. One goes 8, the other goes 10. That's gonna be one hell of a series. The
only issue I'm gonna have, with them going against OKC is that Rudy Gobert will not punk. What's the center's name in OKC?
Oh, you talking about Chet
or Chet?
Chet or Hartenstein?
Chet. I'm talking straight about Chet. Rudy Gobert should easily be able to punk this dude. Chet is too small, but Rudy is too soft.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, when is Game 7?
Julius Randle might eat though.
Oh man,
he might eat.
Julius Randle will definitely eat against Chet.
Oh yeah, he'll eat. Oh yeah, and he's playing well too.
Sunday,
because they got travel time because they going back to OKC. So yeah,
Sunday.
But Randle,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be inclined to put Ant-Man over Jokic if he just so happens to knock him out and win the fight.
But you see, another thing that'll kill Jokic too, though, for MVP is voter fatigue. That's another thing that'll kill Joker too. Is voter fatigue. We want to see somebody. We want to see somebody different up in there, and SGA will be that perfect guy.
Well, if we see a crazy swing and they pick Ant-Man, that would be wild.
That would be wild.
Bruh, if this dude was to win the finals, I would stand up and clap for Minnesota because that is fucking ridiculous if they was to pull this off.
Oh yeah, and they did, and you remember that year that they beat Denver, and everybody was saying that they weren't gonna beat Denver, and we on this show said that season they were gonna beat Denver. Everybody said they weren't gonna beat the Lakers. What happened? They beat the Lakers.
Sure did. We called that.
I was that guy.
Yeah,
I was that guy.
Yep.
I was that guy.
Yep.
But wait a minute. But to be fair though, I said the Lakers in 7. I said it got. I think it's gonna go 7 games. I also said it wouldn't surprise me if the Timberwolves won a game 7. What surprised me was they won 4 games to 1. It wasn't. It was right. See, I forgot how petty Ant-Man is. He literally got the mentality of Kobe and Jordan, and he heard Shannon say Lakers in 5. He was laying in bed, probably minding his own business, probably eating breakfast, or whatever, just chilling. What the hell he just say?
Lou Dort, right. Child support, Supreme Court, Lakers in 5. Come on, man. He had to roll all that. Yeah, I remember I watched the episode. He had to roll all that junk back on that cap, boy. Because everybody went after him.
Man, you might have wrote a check you couldn't cash.
Yup. You went out there on the court.
All right. Quick pick.
Hold on real quick. And you know what? The thing I appreciate most about Minnesota is that they beat the Lakers when they were healthy.
Yep.
Well,
There was
fully.
no excuse. No
They
excuse.
were
Fully.
healthy.
No
And
excuse.
then after they lose, it comes out a couple of weeks later. LeBron underwent surgery on his knee because he even had. I was get the fuck. It's never his
I
fault.
was the one that wasn't nothing wrong with LeBron. Wasn't nothing wrong with him. Nothing
nigga was
never
fine.
was wrong with LeBron. Man, 40 years old, out there
That nigga was
faking a
fine.
limp. Out there faking a limp after the game. Come on,
That
man.
nigga was
Ain't
fine.
wrong with
Wasn't
you.
nothing wrong with him.
Ain't no wrong with LeBron. Hell no.
Nothing wrong with that nigga.
He
All
just
right,
tried to
fellas.
he just tried to make an excuse.
Of course, because he can't have that type of loss on his resume, even though
Nope.
we know how to say, "Ooh, we got to fight. We got to fight in NHL playoffs. NHL playoffs, we got to fight."
I forgot that was going on.
Oh, this is more like a brawl. Hold on, wait. This is interesting. Oh, all right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
tend to happen in the
Yeah, fellas.
NHL.
Yeah, let's get it in, fellas. I love it. All right. Speaking of fights, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned dog fight. New York Knicks, Boston Celtics. Is New York ready for this? I don't know. I gotta ask y'all. Is New York ready
I like the
for
fact
the Knicks to actually do something outside of being bounced in the playoffs?
I like the fact that Boston made the adjustment. They made the adjustment to have Jalen Brunson play defense. I like that adjustment. Make him spend that energy on defense. So I did like that adjustment. And if anybody could do it on the road, it would be the Celtics.
This is true. But
I don't think they do, but if any team can do it, it would be the Celtics.
It's 3-1 right now, right? Is it 3-1 or
3-2.
3-2?
3-2. Mm-hmm.
And brother, the game is game 6 is in New York.
Yeah.
MSG.
MSG.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And New York gonna have to finish it, because if they don't finish it in NYC,
Hey,
Good luck.
they ain't winning game 7 in Boston.
hear me out on this, Willie. You were Moo. What are you? You're 3 years younger than me, I think. And so
You turned 32, so yeah, I think so.
yeah, okay. So I was old enough to remember this. I was a kid. I was like 5. But do you remember the 1994 NBA Finals?
Ha! Go on, talk about it.
Vaguely.
So New York won one game in Houston. They split in Houston, and this one the finals format was 2-3-2. It wasn't 2-2-1-1-1. So New York won in Houston. Houston won game 2. They go back to New York. New York wins game 3. Houston wins game 4. When Houston won game 4, all of New York panicked, because you went on to game 5 and New York is up 3-2. They got a little confidence back. Everybody in Houston like, man, we ain't worried about it. They come back and lose both games in Houston, and Houston wins the NBA Finals.
And remember, that Houston team wasn't no joke. That Houston team was no joke.
No, Hakeem was no joke.
Hakeem
And
was no joke.
I always like to say, yeah, Ewing got the best of Hakeem in college, but Hakeem won the one that Ewing wanted the most, which was the NBA one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yep.
So I say that to say this. Last time they were up 3-2 in a series.
They lost.
And game 7 wasn't home. They lost.
Yeah.
This is going to be very
What you call it? Got thrown out of one of, I think, who was it? One of them, somebody got thrown out of that game, one of those games. I forgot who it was. Damn. But yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen this time. I think New York will close out and win the series. Jason Tatum had 42 points
Before he went out.
he went out. Right? He had 42 points. And New York was still there in striking distance. Like
I just
and
think
New York ended up winning the game, right?
Yeah, they won
that game.
Even with the 42-point seed, they started to take over, bro, in the fourth.
I just think that if Boston could come in, play more half court ball, limit the threes. I'm not saying don't take them, but limit the threes. Continue to make Jalen Brunson work on defense. They got it. Look, Drew Holiday, you got to come through. Kristaps Porzingis, you've had a terrible series. You've been trash all series. You got to come up with something now. You got to. You can't have 1 point and 1 rebound, Kristaps. You got to come out and do something. Drew Holiday, you got to be more aggressive with your shot too. And Al Horford's been trash up until the last game. So
all the others, bro.
Okay, but Al got a legit excuse, man. Man, Al is old. I remember seeing Al win back-to-back college championships, and that was back in 06. 05
and 06, I think. 05 and 06.
Right. 05
he
and 06.
Need to retire.
That was
man
19. That was 19 years ago, bro. Like
that man need to retire.
Hey, y'all didn't say that last year when they won and he was balling in the finals. Okay.
Listen, because he was productive. But look at this series here. Come on, man. That man, how can you say it? That man ain't got no lateral movement. He has no lateral movement. He has no lateral movement. He needs to retire, bro.
So here's the key thing, right? He has no lateral movement, but here's the key thing that stands out is I don't think he's effective in the series because Cat will pull him out. Cat is pulling him out.
Cat will pull him away from the basket. This is true.
Hey, he's not quick enough anymore to recover. So like that's what it worked last year against Dallas because Gafford lives in the paint.
Yep.
Because he's not a shooter. So it's a bad matchup for him. And you know, if you put your shoulder in Kristaps Porzingis' chest, he breaks something. Like so.
I ain't never seen the most frail. I ain't never seen the most frail big man in my life, and that's Kristaps.
That's a lie. Anthony Davis exists.
True that. But Kristaps is right there with him. Kristaps right there with him.
Yeah, I don't think Boston's going to win Game 6. I don't. As much as it is a must win for Boston, I think it's a must win for New York because New York knows they do not.
They don't want to go back. They don't want to go back to Boston.
And if in the event that Boston does win, New York might go night, bro. But
can you imagine? And it won't be beyond the pale when we see a fallen teammate and teams just come back and rally from the fall of said teammate. We've seen that before. We've seen that before. So I don't think I agree with DJ. I don't think they win either. But if they can come out, work half court basketball, and make Jalen Brunson play defense, they got a shot. I just don't think you get another 34 from a Derek White. I just don't think you do.
I'm just gonna come out straight and say it like this, right? I would have more confidence in Boston if Ime was the coach instead of Mazzulla right now.
Yeah.
That's valid.
He can rally the troops. He can rally the troops a little bit more.
That's very valid. That's actually very valid. I don't think New York can handle either result. I'm not gonna lie to you. If New York goes back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time, and I don't know how motherfucking long, I've always said this. First and foremost, if New York remotely wins anything, that whole state is an island. Okay, it's gonna be pushed into the Atlantic because they're gonna experience one of the strongest earthquakes.
I'll tell you another bad thing. Stephen A won't shut the fuck up. He won't shut the fuck up. All he's gonna do.
One of my best friends is a Knicks fan.
That's all he's gonna do. That's all he's gonna do.
Fuck Stephen A. Do y'all remember 2020 COVID New York with the bing bong and the fuck your life? That was them niggas bored. Okay, that was them niggas bored because they couldn't go to work and they couldn't do shit else besides get on fucking TikTok and get on the internet. If the Knicks, if the New York Knickerbockers were to win and go to the Eastern Conference Finals, New York is going to be an island by that night. They're going to experience an 11.5 earthquake for the first time in Earth history. Okay, and it's gonna be caused by a whole bunch of them stupid ass New Yorkers outside on the street, just jumping around, yelling and shit. Yeah, son.
They're gonna riot.
Yeah, son. Yeah, kid. And I'm telling you, New York.
I told y'all that shit was gonna happen. Dead ass.
Told y'all that shit was gonna happen, son. Yeah, dead ass, kid. On word to my mother, because you know it's not mother, it's word to my mother.
Yep.
So I don't think that they can handle that. I don't think that present day New Yorkers. I don't think that they're ready for that.
The first time in 25? If I'm right, it was 99. Whenever they lost to San Antonio in 99. That was the Spurs' first championship, and it's 25 years later. It's 09 and then 19 would have made 20, and then was 6. Yeah, no, 26 years. It'll be 26 years. But listen, that would be nothing compared to if they went to the finals.
Exactly my point.
Let me ask you this.
Exactly
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. If Boston lose this series, would it be the greatest choke?
No, because Jason Tatum got hurt.
Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. That's the only thing that.
If Boston win this series, would you say the Knicks choked?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. If Boston wins this series, would you say the Knicks choked?
Yes. Absolutely.
And let's not forget, Moo was just saying a lot of teams can't run and gun with Indiana. New York was last year, even when they weren't healthy. They didn't have all their players. It was Brunson alone with because OG was out, right?
He was out too. He was hurt too.
OG, and then Brunson ended up breaking his hand or whatever.
Yep.
And then he was out, and somebody else was out. Julius Randle was out.
He was out too.
Julius Randle was out too.
Good call. Yeah, he was out.
And they still took him before Brunson broke his hand. They still took him to 6. And granted, I don't know. DiVincenzo ain't there no more, dog. DiVincenzo was balling last year in the playoffs for New York. Hey, them Villanova boys, between him, Josh Hart, and DiVincenzo, between Brunson, Josh Hart, and DiVincenzo, that's crazy. They was balling.
Them Villanova Knicks, boy. Them
Villanova running Villanova's fucking offense while they were at it too.
And I do want to give props where props is due. And I hate to do this because I can't stand man, but you gotta give Tom Thibodeau props.
Yeah.
I hate to do it, but you got to give him props. I hate to do it, but you got to give him props. He's coaching his ass off.
Shoot, I know Michael.
I hate to do it, but
for what?
Yes.
he's coaching his ass off. I just hate to do it, but he's coaching his ass off right now.
The question was never if Tom Thibodeau could coach. We all know he can coach. He's been to multiple conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know he can coach. He's won and made the playoffs everywhere he's been.
Mm-hmm.
His problem is he runs his players into the freaking ground. So by the time the playoffs come around, somebody's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
But this time around, they've been generally healthy.
Yep.
And I'm not giving him props for reaching the conference. I'm not giving him props for reaching the conference finals. He's been there before. If he goes to the finals, though, I would definitely props.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have made it to game 6 of the playoffs and your team is relatively healthy and nobody's pretty much injured, he deserves props for that because that ain't never happened to that guy.
Yeah, ain't never happened to Thibodeau. Never. Somebody hurt all the time.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
So Mooley's so stupid. Mike about to go off. No, I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not. He's always been a good coach. He just always ran into my team's hurt. And it's like, that's why I was telling Troy. Troy was like, you can't dictate people's injuries on Tom Thibodeau. I said, then why the fuck is the star player always hurt in the playoffs? Yes, I can. His star players play the most minutes out of any star player not named LeBron in the NBA. Last year, Jalen Brunson played the second most minutes. What happened to Jalen Brunson in the playoffs?
Hurt.
Yeah.
The year before, Julius Randle, in the beginning of the season, Julius Randle was on pace to make All NBA either first, second, or third team. He was playing the most minutes after Jalen Brunson. What happened to him?
Hurt.
OG Anunoby comes to Toronto. He's playing more minutes than he ever played in Toronto. What happens? Hurt.
You were validating what you're saying. That's true.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence. OG Anunoby was never rare. He was rarely ever hurt when he was in Toronto. Rarely, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we know Tom Thibodeau. Tibbs can coach, man. We seen him with the Bulls. After Derrick Rose went down, they still got to the second round of playoffs with Noah having that top 5 MVP season performance when he was in top 5 in MVP voting and things like that. So, I mean, it's never been a question about whether he could coach. So, hey, if he wins the finals or he gets to the finals or whatever, then yeah, okay.
It's true. Good point. It's a good point. Now, we're talking about something a little controversial here, fellas. Talked about our basketball. We'll get into the football release schedule in just a little bit to get your reactions on those. But first, baseball did a thing today. They have now reinstated one Pete Rose, and amongst others, but the notable name is one Pete Rose from the ever so notorious MLB ban list, however you guys want to classify it as. And he is now eligible in the year 2025 to go to the Hall of Fame. Now, as somebody who shares his thoughts about our baseball commissioner every single show, Willie, go ahead and kick us off, man. How you feeling about this?
I'll say it again. Fuck Rob Manfred. Listen, here's my thing. You're supposed to give people their props while they're living, while they're alive. And I get it. You got these old head writers, old head committee up here talking about something. You don't bet on your team. You don't bet on your team at all. But here's my thing. Hey, he did not do it as a player. He did it as a coach. You cannot take away from what he did on the field. And I'll go back and say it again. You give people their flowers while they're alive. What are you going to do? You going to wait till Barry Bonds died to put him in the hall? Man, get out of here. Everybody was doing steroids during that time. I think it's stupid and ridiculous. Pete Rose should have been in. And for you to say when a person passes away, he's off the ban list, you're an idiot. You're a bigger idiot than I took you for. And you also going to put that jerk Shoeless Joe on there too, knowing what we know about him.
Man,
Get the hell out of Dodge. Up until he passed away too. He's eligible. No, he was a jackass, a racist jackass is that.
Very
but
true.
nah, man, this is wrong above all levels. Pete Rose should have been in. Should have been in. You can't take away what that man did on the field.
Mike, how we feeling?
One of the greatest hitters of all time.
I mean, he is first in basically every category except one.
Mm-hmm.
Mike,
And very few can rival him. Very few.
I don't even know where to start with this. Number one, a ban list should never be permanent. Okay. Like, it's not like he did anything illegal. Okay. Like, did he break the MLB rules? Yeah. I'm not supposed to be on my cell phone at work. And then, I mean, I put my cell phone out every now and then at work and check my cell phone for stuff, and I'm not supposed to do it. I'm not going to jail for pulling on my cell phone. You know, like, this is a, first of all, it's stupid because you're right. He was a manager and not a player. And I don't think he was there long enough to affect the game in any kind of way when he did. But the thing, but he retired. He retired, and then after 3 years of playing baseball, he was on the ban list because of the Cincinnati Reds, you know, the betting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this again, and I say it with basketball too, and people can feel how they want to feel. Let me tell you, if you're betting on your team to win, it shouldn't fucking matter.
I don't see why.
As long as the investigation proves that you didn't pay the refs to fix the game, that's number one. Number two, people still got to go out there and hit the damn ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing when people always say, like, well, the NBA games are rigged and they're fixed. And I'm like, so they thought this nigga was going to hit the 3-pointer at the end of the game with 2 hands in his face, falling backwards, and him throwing the ball up without doing a regular jump shot. It was they scripted it down to that moment for everything that happened. You sound stupid, okay? Like, it's one thing when you have refs determine the game. Like, you can tell in basketball when refs have too big of an influence on the game easily.
Mhm.
It's like, why does this team have 30 free throws and this team have 10? What's really going on here?
Right.
You know how much collusion there has to be for the refs to be involved in fixing a game of baseball.
So much.
Because not only are there refs, there's umpires, there's the other team refs at the coaches at the other bases telling you whether to go or not, telling you whether to stay. Like, it's too much people involved in a baseball game for him to collude with everybody and pay. There's no way. There's no. He would have to pay. He'd probably paying out more than he actually won, if to do that. The only other way you can rig a baseball game is if you're calling balls and strikes, and you're not calling it right.
Right.
So I don't. Then you got to factor in the other team. Hey, if y'all don't hit the ball and y'all keep it in the park and this and that, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. No matter how much money he wanted betting, he wouldn't been able to cover every play on the other teams that they were playing. So as long as he didn't have his hands in the umpire pocket and the ref's pocket, I don't know why he got a lifetime ban anyway. It's like, at least for eligibility for the Hall of Fame as a player. As a manager, whatever. But as a player, this guy didn't Pete Rose own the streak for the most consecutive hits over games or some crazy stat like that? It was like 50 something plus games. He had a hit in every game. And I think it just
does. And I think he still owns that record.
Okay, so yeah, like it a couple of seasons ago, somebody got close, and I forgot who. And it's more. It was probably like 10 seasons ago. Somebody was getting close to it, and then I don't think they ended up breaking it because it would have shattered national news or something. That's the guy. But you choose to elect the person that was taking steroids and put him in the Hall of Fame. And then okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. They said they never found proof that Barry Bonds did steroids. Okay, y'all never had proofs that Pete Rose paid the refs to collude either, did you?
All right, here we go. Real quick. Pete Rose holds the record for the most hits in Major League Baseball history with 4,256.
That's what it is.
You ain't breaking that no time soon. World Series championship. He won 3 World Series titles, 2 with the Cincinnati Reds and 1 with the Phillies. He was an NL Rookie of the Year, NL MVP back in '73. Multiple batting titles. He won 3, leading the league in batting average. 17-time All-Star. Played multiple positions. He was versatile enough to play at second, left, right field, third base, and first base. And he also won 2 Gold Gloves and the World Series MVP award in 1975. Come on, man.
That man is the Nolan Ryan. The Nolan Ryan of batting, bro. That's exactly what he is. He's the Nolan Ryan of batting, and that's the man you choose to let die before you induct him into the Hall of Fame over some stupid shit that happened in 1989 that I wasn't even born for.
Not to mention, if we're going to keep talking about the greatness of Pete Rose and the records that he holds, career hits, 4,256, games played, 3,562, at-bats, 14K, singles, 3,215, plate appearances, 15K, times on base, 5,000, almost 6,000, other notable achievements, etc., etc. Like, holds the record for all of those.
Let me put this into perspective real quick. Pete Rose is at 4,256. The next person, number 2, Ty Cobb, 4,191. Ty Cobb. Hank Aaron is third, 3,771 hits. And you all know how great Hank Aaron was. And everybody keep telling me, other players, George Brett, Eddie Eddie Collins. No. Much respect to George Brett, but George Brett's 18th on the list with 3,154 hits. No. Come on, man.
Let me explain. I'm gonna go deeper first because I don't get to do baseball a lot, and I don't deep dive into baseball analytics. And one thing I do know is I do know the numbers. And probability. You have a better probability of making a half court shot than stepping up to a plate and hitting a pitcher thrown by a major league player.
Yep.
You have a better chance of having Serena or let's go Roger Federer serve a tennis ball with you having a chance of hitting it back over the net. You got a higher probability to do that than hitting a baseball. Hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do in life. I don't give a damn if the ball is coming slow. Okay, people say, well, Barry Bonds got inducted. He was on steroids. But Barry Bonds might have been the greatest hitter. He's one of the greatest hitters ever because he could just hit the freaking ball. It doesn't matter.
Go back and back that point up. Go back and look at his Pittsburgh Pirate numbers before the steroids. Go back and look at those numbers. He was a Hall of Famer before the steroids even became an issue.
These boys out here getting after it. I'm telling you right now.
Jesus.
Bruh, this is the greatest robbery of fans I've ever seen. You know how many Cincinnati Reds don't get a lot of Hall of Fame players, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even remember the last time the Reds was a really, really good team, and I felt like they could win. They could actually win. Now, granted, any team that gets into the playoffs in baseball could eventually win. I mean, it's the hardest playoffs to get into because they only take 6 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They only take 6 teams, and you play the play-in game. That's what I call it for that last seed, and then from there on out, anybody can win. And then if you're the first seed, you get a bye round, and then you go automatically to the pennant. It's baseball might be the hardest sport to win a championship in too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is such a disgrace. This is such a disgrace to baseball fans everywhere. Because real baseball fans know, like Pete Rose played obviously before I was born, but before I even started getting into baseball, I knew who Pete Rose was.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Who just texted me? Talking about some damn Tony Gwynn. Look, respect Tony Gwynn. Do not get me wrong. Much respect for Tony Gwynn. But Tony Gwynn is 21st on the list with 3,141 hits. Stop it.
What do you have a top 25 list or something pulled up? What the hell is going on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I got somebody watching this show right now, and he texted me, well, what about Tony Gwynn? Come on, bro.
Like the fact that he went up there 14,000 times at bat and hit over 4,000. That's fucking impressive, dude. There's some people there. There's a lot more people that played in the MLB that went up there. Probably in you want to look at percentages. There's a lot of people that got on base with a low percentage that has way less hits or way less at bats, right? Like this is I don't know what we're talking about here. Pete Rose is it's a disgrace to his family. If I was his family, I wouldn't even show up. Damn shame.
You gonna wait till the man die. That's a damn shame.
Of that, speaking of his family, it's crazy, right? Because not only is it disrespectful for all the reasons that you guys just named, right? First and foremost, when Pete got banned from the game of baseball, they still love to use his name. Right now, Stephen A brought up a good point the other morning, right? If you're going to ban somebody from baseball, then you should ban them completely. You shouldn't then continue to profit off their name, image, and likeness by decking the Hall of Fame, the MLB Hall of Fame, and all of the pictures and all the records of Pete Rose. using his name in order to sell tickets, having the Cincinnati Reds profit from his name, image, and likeness, profit from his records, etc., jersey sales, but not give him his flowers to induct him into the Hall of Fame. Like, is that not the ultimate slap in the face to somebody who everybody would consider a baseball great, right? So when it comes to that, and when it comes to, his, because like DJ Michael B said, his family, right? It's come to the point where his son isn't even, or wasn't even allowed in the Reds stadium, right? Like, literally wasn't even allowed to go into the Reds stadium. This is the man who literally made your franchise, but his son can't go into the stadium.
That's pitiful.
That's actually crazy. But then after his father dies, and after you guys want to feel, a little better about yourselves, now you guys want to start giving him preferential treatment. And no, we love your dad and all this stuff. Like, that's the problem I have with it. Like, you can't sit up there and act like everything's all good and we always wanted to put you in here, Pete, but you know how? Nah, fuck that. Because at the end of the day, y'all profited from everything that he did for the game of baseball and for the Cincinnati Reds, and didn't think to give him any of it. Didn't think to give him any shine, to the point where he's literally having to sign autographs outside of the Cincinnati Reds stadium just for money. Just for money. The stadium he built, the house he built, the championships he brought y'all, those is his pennants on the wall. Those is his records. But y'all can't break the man off something because he bet on his team to win. And like DJ Michael B said, you can place all the fucking bets you want. You still got to go out there and hit the damn ball.
Yep, your team still
got to go out there and field it. You still got to go out there and throw it to first, throw it to second, throw it to third, right? Throw somebody out.
Yep, your team still got to perform.
So him betting on his teams, it's not like he sat up there and bet on other teams to win and was profiting off that. No, he said, nigga, I feel like my team is so good that we're going to win. And that shouldn't be a problem, especially considering a ban for that long and then waiting until after the man passes away to then show him any kind of homage and then put him in a Hall of Fame.
I'm going to put this in perspective. Just to put in perspective, do you know why judges stopped giving a life sentence and just started giving a shit ton of years? It's because a life sentence is 25. And then they're eligible for parole, and a lot of them they normally do make parole after being in there, after being in 25 to life, right? 25 years. So a lot of them do make parole. Your whole life is gone, but I mean, hey, you make parole. 25 years is a very long time, right? This man watched his son grow up, and his son watched him die before y'all finally said, maybe we should remove the ban on Pete Rose. He did so much for the game. When y'all knew he did so much for the game, because you've been using his name, image, and likeness for years.
Yeah.
There's a high in the MLB openings of games when they show all the clips through the years, for the World Series when they show the clips through the years. He's literally on the screen in all of them.
Quite literally.
Fucking ridiculous, man. Okay, this is the topic that's gonna piss me off.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro, because that's fucking. That boils my blood. It gets me because it's not fair, bro. You treat a great of a sport that we love, and you, for everything he did for the sport, you treat him like that, throw him to the side like trash.
Yeah,
and so you feel like it. Got it. Willie, what do you say at the end of every show?
Fuck Rob Manfred.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But
how long has Rob Manfred been commissioner now? Because I think it was the commissioner before Rob Manfred that did the ban.
Yes, it was. Rob Manfred just inherited it.
Yeah. Yep. I think he started a commissioner in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. which a lot of people called for him to reinstate Pete Rose then, but he was too much of a coward to do so then.
But Selig was the one.
Got it. So he's the one we got beef with, along with Rob Manfred.
Rob
But
Manfred.
you know how you like to get down. NFL schedule releases got released yesterday, but me and Mel will go ahead and talk about that a little bit tomorrow. It is really late, so we're gonna go ahead and get these final thoughts and get up out of here, fellas. Willie, go ahead and kick us off, man.
Don't forget, Saturday night, Geek Gala Podcast, 10 p.m. Eastern on Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Do not forget that. We're going to cover everything comics, gaming, anime. Catch me on Water Wide Sports, Coffee and Sports in the morning. That'll be on Mondays and Tuesdays at 9 a.m. And you can also catch me on the Sports Report Podcast, same network, Water Wide Network, 10 p.m. Monday night. And then I'll finish up here on Thursdays, Player versus Team.
God damn.
Go ahead, man.
Shows? God damn, you do two different shows on Monday?
One in the morning and one at night.
Boy, what am I doing with my life?
I hope I'm a coach. Sometimes I host Coffee and Sports in the morning. Sometimes I'm just a contributor. But Sports Report I host.
Okay. Okay. I guess my final thoughts. The NFL is already putting hella implications on rivalry games and division matchups. They started with the bullshit in week 1. They started with the rivalries and the bullshit in week 1. It's crazy how many rivals are going to be in week 1. So please don't miss the week 1 of the NFL season. And of course, Mel, tomorrow, right here. It's 7, right? Well, 7 my time, 7 Central. It's 5 Moose time. And I think Mel's time is Mel's time 6 or 5?
Same time. We both on the West Coast time.
Okay. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Of course, Monday, Bass the Basket, Moo, Troy, Boo Wop. Wednesday, you got Gentleman's Talk. Me, Gent. I always want to call this dude by his real name. Me, Gent, Ron. I'm sorry. Me, Gent, Outlaw, and GQ. I be wanting to call that man by his real name so bad. And then, of course, you right back here next week, Thursday, right here, PVT. You already know what it is. I'm out.
Hey, man. Dope show to appreciate everybody that tuned in today. Make sure you guys tune in to the rest of the shows throughout the rest of the week. Like my boy said here, support all the shows. We keep bringing out this dope ass content. Until next time, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow.